Welcome back, folks. I hope everyone's doing well. Pick this up, and we're going to go to the officer deck. Alright, who am I going to take on this? You're out. You're in. Carol, you're out. Cabela, you're in. So ranged, semi melee. You can act as melee too, so we're about 3 and 3. You can act, these guys too are like cutovers. I want this because I want him for the Xeno lore. Although I could take our Xeno, but she's just range only. Jocasta Sarbak. His Lordship, the Rogue Trader, is seen fit to honor us with a presence in order to monitor the course of the investigation. You are expected to perform your duties immaculately and report your every step to me. Should any of your actions bring shame to the enforcers, you will answer to me personally. Lord Captain, 3 officers before you have been tasked with conducting the event. First, Captain Klein, victim of the record, quelling uprisings of mutant abominations in the colonies. Captain Genevieve is a young, but she has already preempted several mutinies among the ship's rabble. Lastly, there's Captain Rotkyo. His interrogation skills deserve credit. He knows how to instill fear and respect the firm in the minds of the riffraff. Okay, continued. You notice the enforcers stage few astounding glasses and throw their shoulders back. Apparently, they're not used to standing so close to figures as a renowned issue. Okay. Carefully assessing the officers bearing uniform, not satisfied. The drill is good. Service records are excellent. Let's see how well they perform. Okay, inspires us. Yes, yes, yes. I've read the fictionalized account of your deeds many times. Of course, I have it right here. Signature on the end sheet, correct the inaccuracies in the tome. No, I'm not going to worry about this. What are your findings? Worker's corpse, mutilate, desiccated. Looks the man's identity and position, but the Treasurer's report have confirmed that among all the blood that was pumped into the bath chamber, the blood carrying the mutation was indeed his. Workers from the nearby decks have been checked for genetic aberrations, but the mutation identifies all within norm for the laboring masses. They are being rounded up for interrogation as we speak. Even to decks that only constitutes hundreds of people, how do you explain expect to question? How do you plan to question them all? Broad and varied, nothing loose done like corporal punishment, beatings, mutilations, torture, public executions. In combination with psychological approaches such as mess works wonders. Okay. Do you have any working theories? Are plotting. They've been breeding like void wrecks, so they're getting cocky. We must have wanted to infect your lordship with their plague. It wasn't an attempt on the Lord's life, it was a threat. The rabble are planning revolts, they're trying to terrorize us. Soon you will be drowning in blood. Insurgents pride themselves on such metaphors. It is working of Quoting surviving cultists. However, I believe this is to be a warning rather than a threat. We need to establish is who is trying to warn us and of what. Interesting hypothesis, but I doubt it is that simple. Mr. Sauerback, grant me access to investigation. I have my own thoughts on what's going on. Of course, Master Interrogator. Goes to interrogate first. The body. Once we have ascertained the dead man's identity, we'll be able to locate his associates, narrow down the number of suspects. Captain Klein's charged examining the corpse. Yes, your lordship. I'm almost done with the report, and as soon as it's ready, I'll deliver it to you. Let us begin. While we wait for Klein's report, please enjoy the refreshments prepared for you, Lord Captain, and the dialogue. What's it? A pair of enforcers with battered faces escorting Furnace Master. Blue's knuckles gaze covered with blood and chewed up between his teeth. What are we doing with him? The force drones nasally. We apprehended him while he was trying to break through to the detained rabble. Got into a scuffle. We barely managed to restrain the troublemaker. He demands an audience with you. Let's release the prisoner. Justice closed. Approaches conflict. What do you universities think they're doing, Jessica? Why are you assaulting my people, denying them water like they're criminals? You've got teenagers and elderly folk here. We're just ordinary workers. They've done nothing wrong. No, Eric, what do you think's going on? Attacking my people, chastising me in front of the Lord Captain. Get out before I have you charged. Your Lordship, I ask you please to protect your servants from this abuse. Explain yourselves. Do not have disrupting course of this vacation. Have patience. As soon as the culprit is found, your people will be released. I want to know what he was trying to bring. Reveling in their impunity, treating the crew like cattle, especially my clan. Many in the custody are dying of thirst and injuries. My sister and niece are there too. I don't expect them to be exempt from the investigation, but I'm begging you to put an end to the assaults and let my people some food and water. This is what the procedure demands. Intimidating loosens tongues. Torment erodes the sedacious will. The rebel will only know the awe and terror. Avoid take your procedure. They're not seditious. They serve the dynasty, just like you and I. Did any of them confess to anything useful? Nothing important or indeed worthy of your attention. Okay. Give me everything. Owlish ones. One of the Inferni was found to be missing his pass to the room housing the work log cogitator. Losing such a pass, serious offense, but the scoundrel claims an enforcer took it from him. He cannot specify the name or rank of the enforcer, but he did give a description of man. Tall, blonde hair, obviously he's lying. He either lost it or sold it for a bottle of rot gun. There's more convincing ways to exculpate oneself than making up some mysterious enforcer stealing passes. This instance should not be forgotten. It might be connected to the case. I'm going down the path of iconoclast with this guy, so I guess... Okay. What do we got next? Disheveled, short-haired girl and teens, both dressed in coveralls smeared with soot. Lord Captain, let me introduce my sister Nimi and my niece Mia. Ladies, you should thank Lord Captain for helping you. Hello, Your Majesty. Thank you for the food and water, and for not letting them chop off our hands. It would have left us a little short-handed. Okay. It's your lordship, and don't make jokes when you're so terrible to him. Do you want the Lord Captain to change his mind and send you back? Feisty one, isn't she? She has the spirit of a true sister of battle. But when I looked at her family, I was glad she has someone to take care of her, and the Emperor did not call her to serve him with weapons and fire as we do. That was indeed terrible. This one gets no rations for her. How did they end up in the hands of the enforcers? you're one strict lady. You have a fine family. How did they end up? Exempt me from being arrested, but same for the extent. They were taken along with the rest of the clan. They were acting horrible. They were hitting people in the head and in the ribs. They didn't care if someone fought back or not. Nesmanite would never allow that. Continue. If they hear his name, they'll get angry again. No one. Just a hero from my tale my grandfather used to tell when I was little. That's enough, Nemi. You are not a child anymore, so stop by his silly rhymes. Forgive me, my sister, Lord Captain. That was inappropriate. Nesmith, your lord, is the folk vigilante from the Voidman's legends. Every few years, some hothead declares himself a Nesmite. They always meet a sticky end and do foolish things. Do those foolish enough to believe in them. Nesmanites ravelings. Okay. Okay, fine. Fine. Don't be mean. She's having a hard enough time. She's always tongue-tied and her jokes are stupid and are in the right place. Okay, yeah, you can find family. Okay, family is important. I get that. This is an interesting series here. Victims proven impossible. His face is smashed, his body is badly maimed. Yeah, they don't have DNA tracing. Okay, I have too many wounds to determine the exact cause of death, but presumably died after the killer slit his throat, and that's how they drained his blood. No external signs of mutation were found. In other words, we have nothing, Klein. This isn't a report. It's a declaration of our incompetence before the Lord Captain. You will keep digging around until you've produced some results. Failed. What about internal signs? See a flash of genuine horror. I've seen that look before in the eyes of veterans. It's the expression of someone reliving painful memories they left behind deep scars. They cannot hope to overcome such trauma on their own. They would need help or a partner or perhaps some strong emotional stimulant. Get a Klein. It would seem that I have had an exaggerated offender's courage. He should get some rest. Okay, get a partner. Let's try this. Okay. Klein slipped trouble. Eyeball. She seems unable to stop wiping his reddened hands and rigs soaked in distant. Unspeakable. You can't even imagine what's inside that thing. We should have burned the body right there and then. Whoever killed him should have just finished the job. The wounds were so brutal I almost missed his work. Tattooed, the victim was a pipe organ. And I found this in his throat. Bloodstained raven feather. Succeed. Certain legend springs to your mind. One involving Saint Quirin. One who granted a portent of enemies hiding among the faithful. When Quirin prayed to the Emperor for a sign that might reveal the traitors, a raven feathers burst out of her mouth to inscribe the names of the conspirators. Only someone versed in the symbology of the Imperium would have left such a message. Senior pipe ward. Run the victim's identification number through the master codigator. Which spirit favors us, we'll be able to narrow down the number of suspects. I'll approach you, followed by a dignified woman in crimson rose. Allow me to introduce the esteemed tech priest, Androveta Phi. Or Pi. She believes she has the right to obstruct the investigation and refuses to grant the enforcers access to the master codigator. Okay. I request the laywoman's willful activities be halted. She intends to be tormented. The machine spirit of the master work lecturer. The venerable spirit is ill and is no position to use such abuse. What is the problem with the machine? What's wrong with it? The spirit is old and quick to anger, and therefore calls for a sensitive approach, not torturous intrusion by a brutish layperson. Since part of the watch, the spirit has been since the start of this watch, the spirit has been unwell. So we've been trying to soothe its woes by applying sacred urgence and sensing the great machine's boards. The dogma of data recuperative quantities prohibits any disturbances to the blessed machine found in such a state. What does the data recuperative dogma prescribe? Let no profane touch the sacred machine stricken. Let the mechanism be shielded from all worldly touch by the veils of the righteous litany, and let the shine be thricely honored till the malady is no more. Judging by Jern's expression, she would rather have had her profane hands touch his neck. Okay. Let's see, what do we got? Lay people with machine spirits, but you are not tech extreme priest. You will merely stand aside at your side and observe. We cut off these team's hands and use it to commit. No. How profane would you say your hands are? No. Okay. I'm glad I brought Pascal with me. Homicide for the Great Spirit was infected by a layperson. That is the culprit you should be searching for, not some pipe warden's sacrilege. Registering a Category 3 act of sacrilege resulting in a Category Epsilon Quandro transgression scenario, requesting the inclusion of the offender in the registry be wanted entitles for the person of expletive disposal. Okay, find the bad guy and get rid of him. We've discovered that the cogitator's malfunction began after an unauthorized attempt to access was made. Someone deliberately angered the machine spirit in order to bury the work logs. Thankfully, the esteemed tech priest was able to please the spirit and extract the information we needed. The victim's name was Orto. On the day he died, he was serving valve 27B, which supplies water to the rogue trader's bath chamber. He also had a partner who has yet to appear for duty since the incident occurred. We have a suspect. Did the murderer get into... Impossible. Since the start of this area has been... No rebel could have slipped by unnoticed. Or a common... Wouldn't know how to communicate with the spirit machine. Murderer had to have help. Well, that's true. How did he get past servant's guards unnoticed? Continue. To find out if the shift changed place without incident. If the culprit truly is an enforcer or pretending to be, he could have orchestrated a gap in the... Who is the partner? An 8th generation, but no register of practice, excellent, perfect work record, exemplary work under the... How do we find your new suspect? Man was... Your lordship, there was a man named Gwendon among the rabble waiting to be interrogated. He immediately struck me as suspicious. Policeman out to question your man in your presence. Bring him in now. Okay. Senior pipe ornament. Where he stands a gaunt man in work clothes, his face swollen with bruises. Several of his fingers are broken and sticking at odd angles. He vacantly in the distance of watery eyes. Start talking to you, Mr. Orange. You tried to kill the Lord Captain, didn't you? Grabs workers by the lapels. Gorindon's cloak flies open. Real crew. Occult symbols painted all over it. What is this heretical burning? Cultist scum! Gwendolyn yells, baring what remains of his teeth. Yes, it was me. I tried to put a curse on Lord Captain. I killed my partner in a wicked ritual, rubbing elbows with them demons, consorting with them. All to carry out a dark plot and doom Lord Captain for the glory of my almighty master. Okay. We have our model cultists here. There's a ritual, a curse, and a plot. I've even consorted with them demons. How kind of them to confess to all this and that immediately. He has admitted to everything, the vermin. I have insisted time and again the assassination was carried out by one of the Volturn's surviving henchmen, and I was right. I guess we weren't so thorough in our clearing them out as I thought. That's the enforcer's reaction to the confession. Yeah, I'm smelling that enforcer Barotko may have something to do with it. Okay. Let's find it strange the suspect so eager to paint himself as a herrick, and in such a preposterous fashion. Let's do this. Girl looks proud and self-important. Jura's biting her nails as if hesitant to say anything. Sarbex is doing the work in silence, apparently sunk deep in thought. He merely stands with his distrustful grimace on his face. Other than her, no one here seems to believe that you are looking at a real culprit. I'm gonna go here. Your Lordship, I'm not Gwendolyn, and I'm not a heretic. Yart's me name. I'm a laundryman. Please have mercy. They took my family. That enforcer said she'd throw me out the airlock if I don't confess. She made me draw these unholy marks on myself. On meself. Your enforcers have a knack for persuasion, Miss Harwick, but this is ridiculous. What enforcer? Name. Give me her name. Give me her name? Her name was... Criminal status by Captain Genevieve. What? I swear I have not. Nah. Okay, hold it. Hang on here. Genevieve, huh? The steely age of the Sourback's voice causes everyone present to freeze. But you also hear a notable woman. We'll deal with her later. I will handle the search for Gwendolyn myself. Lord Captain, would you have us execute the demon worshipper? Iconoclast. Spare the man. Dogmatic. Burn him and family. Hang on here. I've never threatened this family. I certainly did not force him to lie and draw. I barely even remember his face. I may have interrogated him before him, but it was someone else who put him up to this. And yet he knows your name and pointed you out right away. Did you not find that funny? And do you not find it funny that your head is always up your ass? It's obvious that someone framed her. Cease this bickering. Lord Captain, what we have here is a liar and a well-coached one at that. Never confess on his own. What do you suggest we do? We need to change our approach. Choose to believe that there is not a single person who saw them being handled. Find the witnesses. Faith change. Take an appetizer. Faith changes people. Take a book of Psalms and read it to him until he confesses. No, I'm not going to do that. And there's not a single person who saw them being manhandled. Find those witnesses. This. Okay. Iconoclast. Dogmatic. Hang the heretic. Burn him, family along with him. Doing this. Barbara's name and identification. Now we know where the clan they are from. We'll keep pressing the riffraff until either the culprit confesses or someone turns them in. I will handle this. Please enjoy your meal in the meantime, Lord Captain. The scoundrel will appear before us soon enough. Has been found and is being escorted as we speak. Are there any remaining questions you wish to address before we? Witness to the battery of our false comparator. According to them, of course, her in the helmet came in the any yard. Ring cannot be recovered. Someone attempting to mislead her cannot let this go without consequences. Someone attached to us work log us, so it'd be harder for us to find the victim's partners who might have valuable information about the investigation. Instead of murdering the partner, we've been given a fool. One who thoroughly incriminated himself before admitting that the captain jury had put him up to it. Who had access to the work logs? Suspect Yard claims, of course, him into lying about himself. Who had access? Did not let anyone. The cried for the jury. Were you there the entire time? Yes, ma'am, since the start of the watch. I went there right away and handed the body over to Klein. The only time I stepped away to retrieve the data slate from my quarters, I left a watchman. But he went missing. Most likely one of the officers he realized he was on duty and sent him off for some errand. But I was only gone for a few minutes. Missing sentry. Data slate misspaced against regulations. I don't know how I've forgotten. I've always checked my gear when I go on duty. You're not doing very well. One of the Inferni complained the enforcer had taken away his pass to the room with a master conjugator, and it was a man. It wasn't her, it's just one of the accomplices. Will you give us a name? Shut your mouth. Nothing has been proven yet. Suspect York claims that you coerced him into lying. What do you have to say for yourself? I may have done my verification, but like many others, because the assistant might because experience in dealing with rebel. So there's no truth in these accusations against me. I have never threatened his family and did not force him to lie or draw him. I barely remember his face. I may have interrogated him before, but someone else put him up to this. The transcript says you conducted Yart's investigation alone. Why is that? Because I can handle a single laundryman. The witnesses saw Yart being knocked about by an enforcer wearing a ring. Let's see your hands. Takes off glove. None of them, however, you find a small mark on Horatio's little fingers after he'd been wearing some sort of band on it for a long time. You're no longer wearing your family ring, Horiko? Not on duty, and certainly not in the compartment full of data. I'm gonna say... Horiko. I'll give you one chance to retain your last shred of honor and confess. You sabotaged the investigation. Why? Is it not obvious? To expose the conspiracy myself and to prove the incompetence to his lordship. To take place that I actually deserve. For years I've toiled for the good of the dynasty, and when the former Master at Arms was killed, I was refused my promotion. Instead, I was given a position to you, a self-serving sourback nit. I guess a noble name means more than talent. Okay. When the crime occurred, I realized it was my chance to show what I was worth. While you're busy dallying, I quickly learned the name of the suspect, diverted the course of the investigation. It's an easy enough task. Man looking for the real Gwendolyn. I found him in time. Your position would have already been mine. And I found him in time. My position would have already been mine. Okay? Listen to yourself. You will understand why they made me Master at Arms, Lord Captain. I request permission to dispose of the refuge personally. Alright, let's see. I'm doing this. Dogmatic. Oh, my goodness. Wow, that was bloody. Zanti High Lightning gains the ability Triumph of Justice. Okay. Dogmatic +3. Sword cut off, devastating blow to the jaw. He collapses to the ground, Cervic raises small again and again, delivers another blow. She stretches out the pleasure, slowly crushing his bones and savoring every scream. When she is done, she finally allows the bloody mess that was once her to die where it was. Okay. That takes care of the traitor. Now let us proceed with the interrogation of the pipe warden. Alright, pipe warden does his best to remain reverently bowed, which paints a rather comical picture given his formidable height and confidence. He lowers his head, tugs his beard. Senior pipe warden. Honored to serve, Lord Captain. I'm ready to confess to everything. Okay, you're the real... I am, and I'm proud of it. Lord Captain. A pipe warden's craft's hard work, but necessary. My number is. My work partner was the late Otto. I oversee the water supply system on the upper decks. Be no mistake, I identified as individual as committed, confirmed by the workers. Why did you fill my bath with blood? I did as a servant of death commanded. She said the Emperor gave the first spinner a sign. Your lordship should be bathed in blood of poor Otto, my partner, and well, I was scared, so I obeyed. Servant of death commanded. First spinner, are you talking about the Bloodspin Web? Yes, that's him. He leads the death cultists, and a lot of the worship the Emperor by killing him. His spinner hunts down heretics who sometimes take their services mysterious, fervent, and bloody. Continue. Okay. If the Third Order, there must be some reason. The Undying One must have revealed something to him that we are ignorant of. Continue. With an acerbic smile, Henrik blows a stream of smoke in the sourdough's earth. What a shocking turn of events, Joxa. The Inferni are innocent. Who could have seen that coming? Could it be that you were wrong to brutalize and humiliate my people? Do not expect an apology from me. I was doing my duty. You can play the victim all you want, but I haven't forgotten the circumstance in which you blasted came on me. Consider every strike upon your back a reminder of the event. What is the meaning of the Master at Arms word about your camp, Henrik? Long days ago, one of the Mr. Starbucks greatly enjoys reminiscing about it as if she was there herself. My ancestors committed trespass against your ancestors and made us Inferni as a punishment. I'm sure to tell you the tale some other time. Okay. Must concede, Lord Captain, the story can't wait. We should first find out about the Bloodspin Web. Thought to bathe you in repugnant blood. Okay. Did you kill your mutant partner? I did kill him. I didn't kill him. I didn't know he was a mutant. Orton and I always got along. He wasn't much for talking. But then he shuddered. The servant of death came from the darkness, ended him quickly with a bash, but hastily. She bled him dry, put a black feather in his throat. She told me to pump blood into the pipes, and then she left. I wanted to confess, but I was afraid she'd come for me too. What do you mean, servant of death? A holy slayer in black and crimson and bone, feared by all, their quiet, merciless death itself. They come from the shadows to kill because the Emperor commands them to. If you already met with the servants of the Bloodspin Web, Lord Captain, Grim Prasad is not one of the upper decks will soon forget. Summon the Vizier. I want you to hear what they say. Your Lord Captain, if I may ask, what happens to me now? I've never meant to anger you. I thought I was doing the Emperor's will. But here we are. I'm a simple man. I know pipes. I know a lot better than all the other people's business. My eyes aren't what they used to be, but I can still smell rust in the metal. Yes. Dialogue. I'll reward him. He was just a stooge. Alright. Sir, the blood sweats as slightly as the old grunt god made of all. He Don Malik, willed to see me, so I have come. Nod respectfully. I have summoned you to discuss the actions. Let their deeds be weighed. Continue. Bloodstone Wed orchestrated an attack on his lurch by pouring unholy blood into his path. Old man murmurs, draws out Sir's breathless voice. Knows the truth. So it was done. So I did will. It was no affront to you, but a prophecy. From my hands to divine, unsullied martyrs offered their soul and bodies to his imperishable embrace. I gazed into the red rivers of smoldering lives, and I did see a roiling, unclean stain the bays, reaching for the anointed Lord of the Ark. In my apprentice's last sighs, I heard the Undying One's whisper. He bid me bathe the dominant in blood of he who must go, and they who have been righteous. For he will shield the dominant and strengthen his body against the roiling unclean. I obeyed. I speak, move, draw breath, because he will so. I defy not the Undying One, neither in death and the gifts it takes, nor in my living. But the man you killed, who was he? I do not know. I heard only a name. I knew he must go. Yes. We need no more knowledge than that. What do you mean by roiling unclean? He did not reveal, but the corruption itself. It offends him. It tastes as sweet as fettered water in old pipes. It promises a deception of the enforcer's smile. His face is elusive. Could your vision have been false? I held the cards of his terror, wash the blood in the righteous. They make no mistakes. And neither does he send false visions. Only mortals err. We who read the signs, they who interpret. Okay, Master at Arms, are you convinced? The Emperor has sent us a portent. The portent of mankind guides his hand and his holy servants to guard us and warn us of hidden threats. God Emperor, I thank thee for protecting us, even though these are instruments of your protection, see purity and holiness I may never understand. Yeah, your blind faith. Malik, regardless of how regularly you kneel before the altar, I advise you to take this warning seriously. If I am correct in my suspicion about what has transpired here, and I pray to the throne that I am not, then you can indeed consider the incident a sign the Emperor is watching over you and this ship. Why so cryptic? Theories about what has occurred? Share them. No persecution. I will tell them. Siege in your hand, give her life, whether you keep us or scatter, so we'll remain grateful. Okay, that's fine. Be that as may, I have hit a dead end. We hope to expose the culprit would lead us to find the roots of the unclean, for it appears as human and can act as human. Only the thoughts betray. Only its thoughts are never human. Aziz. It is unclean thoughts we need to find? Very well, let Aziz find them. He knows how, and no matter how badly he wishes that the rest of us forget about it. Soon Zachary is a fearsome hunter. When he hunts the flagship whales, when he thinks, my teeth creak, and I can feel pain as I am young again. But his power is great indeed. He can cut down our prey. Let's see. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems that not everyone here is eager to leave. This is the matter of the Master is. Perform the ritual of thought reading. Cursory examination among thousands of people in search of certain individuals. The ritual is a rare part. The only one who has versed his masters can accomplish it. They do serve to expose spies on board. Apparently had been in the employ of Lord Inquisitor. Ooh, okay. Fires know the Inquisitor's involvement when the matter was never proven, sparing devious rumors of imperious habit that you could well... Okay. Okay, one least eager would be Mr. Wise himself. Last time, this effort caused some severe warp manifestations. The ritual truly is perilous. Okay. Well, we destroyed the ship back then. Multiple warnings that it could happen. Lady Theodore, reap the results. Oh, why do I get a feeling that I know what will happen next? When it's done, threat is eliminated. I'll brief the enforcers while you consult choir masters. Okay. This has been quite the dialogue. It's like we've had almost an entire episode of just dialogue. Okay. Talk to the choir master. Here, where's the choir master? Well, I gotta go to the choir master is in the choir master is in the cathedral. Okay. Well, let's go do this. Go to the chapel. All right, let's see what we get here.
With each step.
How fascinating. To me, the Immaterium is made of colors, but to the astropaths who dwell in this chapel, it is music. Cursed music.
Many years ago, it was a time when Lady Theodore had become anxious. Perhaps the Lord Inquisitor's interest in her affairs adversely affected her. Shall we say, in her own subjects. She was expecting a betrayal, and eventually her paranoia brought her to me. I performed the ritual, but the choir ceased to exist. Oh, that I can't have. Chapel, there was blood and human remains everywhere. Well, that was the least of the terrifying things we saw. It takes entire choir's power to invade such a prodigious number of minds at once. I weave their voices into the chords and steer it to the murky seas of people's souls. Together we read tens of thousands of thoughts and emotions, hence looking for the thing we are after, the seeds of corruption you are interested in. Why are you so worried about the ritual? Do you know the proverb about staring too long into the abyss? amount to plunging the entire choir into the abyss. A ritual like that will require incredible focus for each of its. It will take single careless thought, a single glance in the wrong direction for the way back to be lost. Humans' mind fused into one another, vitrified organs inside living, still living bodies, perverse fantasies manifesting in the flesh. Nothing will stop the horror of the warp from spreading over the ship in a blink of an eye. And even if I agree it would be impossible, I would need a second powerful telepath as defender to shield my mind. Last time my best apprentice Adeline did it, she is no longer with. She was exceptionally talented, riveted even myself, and now I know of only one psyker in the entire expanse of her equal. But he is bound to the service of one of the white-scale planetary governors, thus unavailable, which makes you a dangerous enterprise and impossibility. Was it? Worse than you can imagine. It took only a fraction of a second levering aside a mind for the astropaths to lose control of their own. The infection spread down the chain like fire. No one was spared. The minds were changed. Were charged, could not withstand the tension. Their consciences were caught in the vortex of alien thoughts. Fortunate ones died at once. As for the rest, protect the souls stricken and take them under your young wing. Your young, okay. Did you survive? Okay. I don't think that this is what we want to do. There's only a survivor out of the entire choir. Her ladyship allowed me to spend a month in secluded cell upon the floors. Through the most powerful trick I ever knew, I was crushed, I was broken, and worst of all, I was afraid. Afraid of meeting the same fate Adeline and my apprentices. An astropath will never be a fade, your lordship. One who yields to fear dies, and doom sows around him. Bombarded for months, request for okay. Details of the tragedy. So is it akin to heresy? Okay. Was it successful? Okay. It's fair to say my predecessor was being herself there, okay. I see. If we can find a psyker who will help you, can we put... We can find a psyker help you. I don't know if it's... yeah, I mean, it sounds like they want me to find a psyker. But it seems like this is really risky. I need to give this more thought. I'm not sure that this is something I need to do right now.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Go back to the bridge. All right, so I've left this unresolved. Finding another psyker, and I wouldn't want Henrik to do it, although he seems to be a pretty good psyker. If I leave this unresolved, I'm not sure what it's going to do. So we have to assign a psyker. So I'll have to go back at some point and either find another one or use Henrik. Okay. This is probably where I'm going to end it. Pretty crazy. Yeah, let's end it here and we'll visit the system next time. Thank you very much for watching. Everyone have a terrific day.